James, it's been a big year for you. You were appointed in July into your role, and just talk us through how this year has gone on from there. It must have been an exciting time for you.
Yeah, it was very exciting to get the role, and then it was pretty quick when I got the role. I think it was on a Monday it was confirmed, and then on a Thursday had to have the first squad in to go to Belgium. I was into the job straight away, and it was a very, very proud moment to get a job in the international role. So I was obviously delighted with that. Yeah.
And tough couple of fixtures as well away at Belgium. I remember speaking before. You said you learned a lot from those two fixtures. What did you take from it?
Yeah, so we learned a lot. Particularly myself. And to be honest with you, over the last 5-6 months since I've been in the role, I've learned some amount. Because before you think, I have a good idea and so on, but there's so much to learn and take on and all that, and sometimes even away from football as well, creating relationships with clubs, with players, all that kind of stuff. Really took that on. Belgium was an eye opener, to the level that they were able to play at, to their quality, to I suppose what the players are exposed to over there. They go to schools where they have 16 to 18 hour contact every week, it was brilliant for the players to see that as well, to see that the level they want to aspire to. In fairness, I think they took things on really well, because when it came to the first phase, they were ready to go, and I think they showed in the first phase as well what they're capable of,
There were some fantastic results in that first phase, more than 20 goals scored. Was you really impressed with the lessons that they took on board and were able to apply that into competitive football? Yeah,
we have to be realistic as well. The opposition, I suppose, wasn't their strongest. No disrespect to any teams, but the way they played, how they took things on and things like that, was absolutely excellent. Along with scoring goals, didn't concede any goals, didn't even look like conceding goals. So we're very secure at the back as well. So obviously delighted with that. Probably more was the off the field things, and it would have maybe 2 or 3 times during the trip. Be it people, staff from the hotel, other teams would have come over and complimented how they conduct themselves, be it on the pitch, off the pitch, and so on. So that was very, very proud to be involved in a team that have really taken on that way that we want to do things, and then as well the mentality as well of winning, even after we qualified in the second game, straight away we were in a little huddle at the end, and they were talking about the third game. We want to win that game, and even now when we have the draw, the girls can't wait for it. They can't wait for March to come around now and be ready to go again, for another tough group. But I think we'll give it a good shot,
In March, you talk about it. Austria, Denmark, and Serbia. Different opposition what we faced in the first phase. What challenges do these teams pose to your side?
Well, I suppose firstly, we were because we'd done well in the first phase, we were first seeds, that took away the possibility of playing a Germany or a Spain, a France, so some of the kind of so-called superpowers we're saying in women's football. So we've got a group, kind of an unusual group in that I think every team going into it will fancy their chances of topping the group. So there's going to be some great games there. Really looking forward to it. The added benefit as well is that we're actually hosting it, so we'll really look for great support in wherever we finalise the fixtures and that. But when we do have them finalised, we hope to have great support for that, and that'll be the 12 supporters as such, and then each team. Serbia will be they'll be physical team. They're technically very good as well. Scandinavian teams like Denmark have always traditionally been very, very strong in the female game. And then Austria have done very well, and last year they were in the Euros last year under 17, so they've got a lot of experience from that, and they'll be hoping to qualify again this year, it'll be 3 very, very difficult games.
We're seeing with Colin O'Brien's under 17 side, when they hosted a tournament, that it really seemed to have injected a certain sense of energy into the underage game in Irish football. Are you hoping for something similar, almost a bounce with the women's side, the women's under 17s? It's 3 great games we're going to be hosting.
Yeah, and look, we only have seen it there recently in the game at Tala as well, the biggest women's attendance for an international in Ireland, and I'm sure wherever we have a venue now, they'll come out and support us, and hopefully we'll get a few under 12 teams, under 10 teams, under 14 teams to bring buses and so on as well, to see the girls and see under 17s that they'd hopefully aspire to be in a few years as well, like, and that's ideally what you want, like, and the whole 20x20 campaign as well has been massive, so hopefully we'll get a bit of support for that as well, like, and really looking forward to hopefully a good support in March.
Moving on later into the year, looking beyond, this is how it works, isn't it? You're always looking ahead.
Yeah.
The first phase of the following year, of the 2021, North Macedonia, Portugal and Wales in a group. You're thinking beyond next summer, and what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so like it's obviously Portugal will be very good, and they're hosting, so we'll be in Portugal. They'll be technically very good. The last maybe 3 or 4 years they've really come on in women's football, so they'll be tough. And Wales, like, will be similar to us as well, and that'll be a tough opposition as well, like, and look, North Macedonia have only really started and all that, so I'd say, like, they will find it difficult in the group, but definitely 3 teams there will be battling out for the two top spots, like, obviously with 2 teams going through, so it will be difficult, but again, the under-16s are away this weekend. They're going to play in England, like, so they're starting their preparation, and I'll be keeping an eye on a lot of their players, and some of the under-16s are in with 17s, like, so I've got to know a lot of them players already as well, like, so keeping an eye on them, like, because you're always looking ahead, like, and to see even down with Richie Berkeley's schools teams, I've seen them training in the last few weeks, and I was at the Interpros tournament, so you're always looking ahead as well to see what's coming through. And in fairness, there's some great work being done, like, between all the clubs and leagues and all that, and there's some really, really good players coming through, like,